Well, praise God and welcome to Leah Home of Light. So glad to have you guys on board. We are, chapters 15, 16, and 17 are some of my favorites in 2 Nephi in the Book of Mormon. But now we're in chapter 19. At some point, at around the 22nd, we're going to start reading up and ramping up in the New Testament. But let's cover chapter 19. How many verses? We're 30 verses. We're going to do Cliff Notes, but we're going to try to cover a whole lot, so get ready. Verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Okay, so now we're going to go to verse 6. This is obviously taking place before the coming of Christ. Okay, so, verse 6. Wait a minute. No wonder. Wrong verse. Forgive me, guys. I don't know what the heck happened, but we're going to fix that. Okay, how many verses this time? Let's see if we can get this right. Forgive me of that. We're going to try to cover as much as we can. I get this crazy thing to cooperate with me a little bit. Okay, chapter 19, verse 1. This time we got this. Nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vacation, when at first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterwards did more grievously afflict by the way of the Red Sea beyond Jordan, in Galilee of the nations. Verse 2. The people that walk in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shine. Okay, so that describes to some degree where Jesus ultimately sets up some of his primary residence. Okay, so verse 6, here we go. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. Now, doesn't that just melt your heart? We can say this around Christmas time. In fact, we can say this all year round. We really can. So think about that. In verse 7, speaks a little bit more about him. Of the increase of government and peace, there is no end. Upon the throne of David, and upon his kingdom, to order it, and to establish it with judgment, and with justice, from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. Okay, verse 8. Get this to cooperate. Verse 8, come on. Sometimes it takes a little patience. The Lord sent his word unto Jacob, and it hath lighted upon Israel. Okay, so we're going to go down to verse 11. This is some good stuff. Therefore the Lord shall set up the adversaries of Rezin against him, and join his enemies together. So obviously they're still talking to Judah and Israel and who they're facing regarding Syria and the like. So now we're going to go to we're going to do 16 through 18. We get everything to work here. Verse 16. Come on, mark it. There we go. For the leaders of this people caused them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed. Sounds like to some degree are they, sadly. But I think it's also, having to do with apostasy in those days as well. Therefore the Lord shall have no joy in their young men, neither shall have mercy on their fathers and widows and everything. So it's kind of like the Lord saying, you know what? These people who fight against Zion, come on, knock it off. For wickedness burneth as a fire. It shall devour the briars and thorns, and shall kindle in the thickets of the forest, and they shall mount up like the lifting up of smoke. Okay, so we're going to go down to verse 21. That's the last verse. Okay. Manasseh, Ephraim, and Ephraim, Manasseh, they together shall be against Judah. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. In a way, that's a lot what it's like in the Book of Mormon. Because, see, Lehi and his people are of the tribe of Manasseh. And they prophesied against Israel because, well, Israel apostatized. They turned against the Lord's wishes. Okay, and because they turned against the Lord's wishes, he's kind of like he's chasing them. But the best part of it all is, I want you to think about this. Unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given. And they give the Lord all these names. And I gotta say, it just, to me, it just really melts my heart. Especially being a member of the church for about 21 years. I'm grateful for what I have learned and what I have become because of the restoration of the gospel. I know there's times my faith has struggled, but the beauty is there has always been some kind of answer as to what is going on. Because, well, times get crazy and life gets crazy, but the restoration of the gospel can answer our many woes. Now with that, I hope you enjoy listening to the Yahona Light. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of the Yahona Light family. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, remember who you are. Read your scriptures, and by all means, even though it's the Christmas hospital, and the Christmas holidays better, regardless of whether you're in the hospital or wherever you are, please preach the gospel. God bless you guys. Every single one of you. Merry Christmas.